Let us refresh our understanding of circuits. This is the common power source we are aware of, popularly known as AA cell. Do you know the voltage rating for this cell? Let us read the small print. 1.5 volt. Is it exactly 1.5 volt when you buy a fresh cell from the market? We will find out shortly. This is the DC motor used in toys. Let us connect it. We can barely see it moving. With this paper blade, we can see the rotations now. Instead of holding the cell, we will place it in a battery holder made with everyday things. Let us use bottle cap as a stand for the motor. We will use multimeter to find the voltage rating of this cell. 1.69 volt, slightly higher than the mentioned value on the cell. With usage, this value will change. How long will the motor run? It is the rating of the battery in milliamp hours and the rating of the motor which will decide. Do find out for yourself. 1.69 volt is a rating for the fresh cell. It's good to repeat this with multiple cells so that average value can be taken. This can be a good class activity as well. Just like voltage rating, there is some other information on the cell, positive and negative terminal. It means that there is a potential difference of 1.5 volt between these two terminals when the battery is new. Do batteries have current rating as well? Not really. It depends on what we connect it to. After all, current is the rate of energy flow through the circuit. Wire or conductor plays an important role in energy transfer. It offers some resistance to the energy flow. Resistance of this piece of wire is approximately 1.8 ohms. Can you guess what will be the resistance of this identical wire, which is approximately 5 meters in length? 2.6 ohms, slightly more than a single piece. This is a very thin coated copper wire, normally used in motor winding. Resistance is 2.2 ohms for this small wire. How about this big bundle? Resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire and inversely proportional to. Can you guess the resistance of this thick wire? Give it a try. Let us build a simple circuit with this corrugated sheet as a base, wires and push pins. Components like motor, resistors, LED are mounted on a bottle cap for easy handling. Wires with loop at both ends are attached with the help of a push pin. Push pins hold a wire securely at the junction. Let us place a cell and measure potential difference. It is 1.46 volts. It will be the same if we measure it at these two ends as well. Let us turn the cell around. How much potential difference will there be now? It is approximately the same, but now with a negative sign. Sign indicates the change in direction. We'll also measure the current flowing through this. With these two ends connected with a multimeter probes, it becomes a closed circuit. Current flowing through this closed circuit is 1.2 amperes, which is quite high. Turning the cell around also changes the direction of current flowing through the circuit. Negative sign indicates change in direction. Let us introduce this resistor in the circuit. Its resistance is 99.4 ohms. For our analysis, we will consider its value as 100 ohms. Now, only 0.05 ampere current is flowing through the circuit. Resistor is doing its job of resisting the flow of energy. We can bypass the resistor and measure the current flow in this path. It is 1.29 amperes. Let us connect DC motor in the circuit and position the cell vertically. If you watch it in slow motion, motor is rotating anti-clockwise. What will happen if we turn the cell around? Will the direction of the motor be same? Now it is rotating in a clockwise direction. Can you guess which law can we use to decide the direction of motor based on the direction of current? It's Fleming's left-hand rule. Right now, I have connected the motor to the power supply with the help of wires, mostly blue. But the battery holder has different wires. One is red and another is black. Are they connected properly? Check the polarity of the cell and the color of the wire. Can you guess now? Red wire is always connected to the positive terminal as a convention. Our circuit is ready with motor running smoothly. But how do you represent it on paper? With pictures or symbols? Can you draw a circuit diagram for this simple circuit? It has just a motor and power source. This is the symbol for a power source and this one for the DC motor. Wires are represented by lines. Let us measure potential difference across motor. It is 1.15 volts. We have to connect a multimeter in parallel to measure the potential difference. This activity is represented like this in a circuit diagram. We do not want motor to keep running forever and drain our cell. Let us introduce a switch here. Just like a normal switch, I can slide it to start the motor and stop it. Effectively, it is a gate which can be opened or closed for flow of energy through the circuit. This is a closed circuit. I can slide the switch and stop the motor. Now, it is open circuit. Let us separate the wires at this junction so that we connect the multimeter. Multimeter is connected in series to measure current flowing through the circuit. It is represented with this symbol in the circuit diagram. We'll measure current flowing through the circuit at various junctions by removing wires. It is approximately 0.54 ampere at all the three junctions. We can say that current flowing through the circuit is same at all junctions. Let us connect another motor in the circuit. This motor is connected in parallel to the first one. Circuit diagram for the same can be represented like this. Let us replace this motor with a wire. When the switch is turned on, will the motor rotate? No, it does not. What could be the reason? By connecting another wire in parallel, we have provided an alternate path for energy transfer. As it has least resistance, almost all the current flows through this wire. With a low resistance in the connection, a high current will flow, causing the delivery of large amount of energy in a short period of time. Cell will drain very fast. This is also known as short circuit. The meaning of the word short here is not shortest path, but path of least resistance for the current. We can switch the position of the wire and motor and try it ourselves. It doesn't work. Let us connect resistor instead. Will the motor start this time? Think about it. Rated potential difference between these two ends of the cell is 9 volt, but this will change with usage. In this circuit, 3 LEDs are connected in series. LEDs are diodes which are electronic devices that only allow current to go through them in one direction. LEDs have positive and negative sides to them. Positive side is called anode and the negative side cathode. Ideally, we should connect the resistor in between the LED and power source to limit the current. But we'll go with this for now. As the electrical energy flows through LEDs, most of this energy is converted to a light energy. This results in a potential drop. This is due to the resistance offered by LEDs. This loss is what is referred to as a potential drop. Let us measure it with a multimeter. It is 6.99 volts or 7 volts across all LEDs. Let us plot it for better understanding. This can be considered as a baseline, 0 volt, and this line on the top represents 7 volts. Across all LEDs, there is a potential drop of 7 volts, represented by a blue line. Potential continues to drop as more energy is lost to the components in its path. After the first LED, it is 4.55 volts. And after the second one, it is 2.26 volts. We can measure the potential drop caused by each LED. It is approximately 2.2 volts each. Current flowing through the circuit is 0.11 ampere, which is quite high. Let us introduce a 100 ohm resistor in series next to the third LED. We can find out the potential drop across all components as well as each individual component. Now, current flowing through the LED is 18.6 mA, almost 5 times less when no resistor was present in the circuit. Potential drop across all the components is the sum total of potential drop across individual components. Will the potential drop be different if we place the resistor before the first LED in the circuit like this? Think about it. Let us replace two LEDs with 100 ohm resistors. As they are connected in series, collective resistance is 200 ohms for this part of the circuit. We can do similar analysis for this circuit as well. Current flowing through the circuit is 26.6 mA. What if we connect 100 ohm resistors in parallel? Collective resistance offered by these two resistors is 50 ohms. This is also as per the formula in the textbook to calculate effective resistance for parallel connection. Let us measure potential drop for the components in the circuit. In the parallel branch, it is same for both the resistors, approximately 4 volts. How about current? Value of current is 75.9 milliampere when measured before the LED. Now let us measure it on each branch. On the right branch, it is 38 milliamperes, while on the left one, it is 37 milliampere. That means current is divided in the parallel branch. Current flowing through each branch will be decided by the collective resistance for that branch. Right now, both resistors have the same value. Hence, current is divided equally. Current will add up again when the branches merge. Do try different variations in the circuit with series as well as parallel connections using resistors, LEDs and power source. You can also use erasers or bottle caps as a base for a push pin instead of a card sheet. That way, you can build more complicated circuits on the floor or a table without worrying about a large card sheet. Thank you.